So obviously we talked about the adjustment of just getting there in the middle of the year. Was an adjustment sort of joining the team in the middle of the season, not from like the spot that you mentioned, will they accept me back from like a hockey perspective? So they're in the middle of their
Mhm.
season and you've only played a handful of games. So was it sort of like how'd you sort of shake off the rust joining a team in the middle of the year?
Yeah, that was really difficult. Kind of jumping back into hockey with this team. It was helpful that I had played with the team before and had played with the majority of the players on the team before. So I understood the style. I understood the way that Lindsay coached and wanted her team to play. That was really helpful. But I think the biggest thing was actually um, in my head, I knew that all of the new girls on this team knew me as the girl who broke all those records her freshman year, the second ever All-American on the team. So I felt like I had really high standards to live up to. So um, I felt like I had to prove myself to everyone. So I worked really hard to kind of live up to those expectations, which in turn didn't do very well for me just because I looked like I was playing very like panicked and stressed out and like wasn't making like if I had two decisions to make, like either pass or shoot, I'll make the wrong one just because I was so like on edge in trying to make the right decision. Um, it took a while of me like practicing with the team and just kind of like getting used to everything and kind of finding my groove again to finally be able to relax and like just play hockey. But it was definitely a huge transition period.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously the team's a little bit different, I assume, from this year compared to last year
Mhm.
with some new players and freshmen. So obviously, like you're talking about trying to win your teammates that you played with before over, but also trying to show the players that you've never played with before, like that you're willing to be on the team as well.
Definitely. And we got a lot of transfer students when I left. We have like, I think, two or three players who came from the NCAA and transferred in. So being able to then see like, oh wow, like we recruited on top of what we recruited last year and seeing like all the skill that we brought in. That was really exciting, but definitely like trying to play with them and like show them that yeah, I transferred out, but I'm back and I want to play with you guys and I want to be here.
Well, your school got a new arena this season called Mullet Arena, where the D1 men's hockey team plays, as well as the Arizona Coyotes temporarily. Talk about what it's
Mhm.
like playing there this season and how cool is it to say that you played at an NHL rink?
It's really awesome getting to play at Mullet. I think one of the biggest things for us is that the we always see the Coyotes around. We see the staff all around the rink all the time. And it's really awesome to be in such close proximity to them because the Coyotes work really closely with women's hockey in the desert. And they have a big dedication to growing the women's hockey game. So they send a lot of their staff out to watch us play, to kind of cheer us on. We get to like say hi to them around the rink. They honored us at one of their games a couple of weeks ago. We got to come out and they kind of like put us on the Jumbotron and said like congratulations for making it to nationals. So that's really awesome that we get to kind of work closely with the Coyotes. Also just getting to play on a NHL rink is really cool. It kind of makes us feel like real college hockey players, which we are, and it's awesome to be treated like that.
I'm gonna miss Oceanside though. It had character. I know it wasn't
Oh
the prettiest rink, but I was told that they got rid of it, which surprised me a little bit. I thought they would have kept that to try to grow
yeah.
hockey in the desert.
Yeah, they tore it down. Honestly, it was a long time coming. That rink, the ice was terrible. Like along the boards, there were like holes in the ice all the way down to the concrete. Like if you're rimming the puck along the boards, it's like skipping as it's going. We had a bunch of practices canceled because the ice just like melted overnight and it was just like a massive swimming pool. The locker rooms were really tiny. Like it was falling apart and it was about time that they got rid of it, unfortunately.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Clayton Keller walk around the like the
We
because he's
have,
one of my
yeah.
favorite players in the NHL.
Mhm. He's one of our captain's favorite players, and she was so excited when we got to do our whole like ceremony of being honored by the Coyotes. We got to like go down and like give them fist bumps before they went on the ice, and she was like fangirling over getting to fist bump Clayton Keller. So that was really cool.
One cool thing about Mullet is I didn't know this. So the visiting team where they enter, like you can like sort of like stand in like a cafeteria and watch them go by, which I didn't. I thought that's pretty cool.
Mhm. Yeah, they walk through like the like concourse area
Yeah.
underneath all the stands, they like have to walk through that. So that's really cool.
It's the longest walk though I've ever seen. Like someone showed it and
Mhm.
it's like almost a minute just to get to the ice. That's pretty crazy.
It's wild. Like they definitely are breaking a sweat doing that because Mullet Arena is also really hot, I find. Like
Yeah.
all of the lights and like how big it is, it's really warm. So I can't imagine like playing and you're already sweating and then having to do that massive walk to the locker room just like seems terrible.
Especially after a tough loss.
And having all the fans just like yelling at you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, this past season, your team won the WWCHL championship. Talk about what it was like winning that trophy and sort of getting revenge from last year.
It was really, really exciting to do that because it was the first time in program history that we've won the WWCHL championship, especially against the team that we won it against. They're the only other team in the desert that we play. It's Grand Canyon University. So getting to play them and not only beat them, but like blow them out 6-0 was really awesome for us. Like we dominated all of playoffs. We every single game, we like after the second period, we're like, we have this in the bag. Like we're moving on to the next game. And then finally, when we made it to the championship, after I think the third goal that we scored, we're all kind of like looking at each other. We're like, we're going to go to nationals. Like, this is the first time in program history that we're doing this. And as soon as that final buzzer went off, like everyone started crying. Everyone was so excited. Like, our head coach isn't a very emotional woman, but like seeing how excited she was that we finally accomplished this was just like it just made everyone feel really good that we were able to not only do it for ourselves but do it for her because she built this program from the ground up, and just being able to win for her was really awesome.
Now, unfortunately, your season came to an end against Miami, losing to them in the ACHA National Championships. Talk about what you took away from that game and what was your nationals experience like in Massachusetts?
Yeah, so we played Miami as well as Maryville in nationals, and both of those games were very close games. Those are both very beatable teams. Like they were awesome hockey games. The compete level was really high. I think we were just really nervous, like going into the games, being like, "Oh my gosh, we're at nationals! Like this is crazy." Um, I think we were just really nervous, so we weren't really on our A game. And we didn't really pick it up in either of those games until like the third period with like 5 minutes left in the game, both times. So that was unfortunate, but it's helping us for next year to know what to expect and to know that we can compete with these teams. Being in Boston was really cool though. We got to go watch the Merrimack Boston U game that was held at TD Garden. That was really exciting to go watch. We got to just like roam around Boston because we had we bought our tickets for 8 days out from when we flew in, and then we were done by the second day. So we were just like, oh, what do we really do now? So we kind of just like roamed around Boston, made our own fun, got to go watch a bunch of the games. We watched Liberty play Minot in the women's Division 1 final. So that was really cool. But it got to a point where we were just like, I kind of just want to go home now. Like I'm getting sick of this a little bit. But it was an awesome experience, and we're looking forward to doing it again next year.
Is it in Massachusetts every year or do they rotate it?
They rotate it. So next year it's going to be in St. Louis.
Oh, okay. That's cool. That's cool. Well, I
Mm-hmm.
was at that
Mm-hmm.
BU Merrimack game. I'm obviously a big college hockey guy. And I was unfortunate my Yukon Huskies couldn't make it there, but it was cool watching that game. Great game. And obviously being there for that OT winner was super fun. And I felt bad for my dad because he was in the
Mm-hmm.
bathroom when he scored that OT winner. So I was just
Oh
laughing like he
no.
missed the best moment of the entire game.
Seriously. He missed the most important part.
Yeah, but it was cool. I was like right there,
But
and the
it
guy,
was
of
a really
course,
fun game.
and the guy dabbed like
Mm-hmm.
right in front of the BU section. It was a lot of fun. Like hockey's
Yeah.
championship, in my
Yeah.
opinion, is one of the most underrated tournaments in college hockey.
It was, and the rink was packed too. Like
Oh
it
yeah, we
looked
care
like
about our
an
college
NHL
hockey
game.
here in New England.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you do. Yeah. It was really fun to go to.
Now, I sort of talked about it a little bit, but what are teams' goals and expectations for next year? I assume it's to make it back to nationals and win it. But is there any other goals that might be on your team's radar that fans are not aware of?
Definitely, like you said, make it back to nationals. One massive goal that our head coach has is to knock off Liberty because they are, I think, 5-time champions now. And after they beat Minot, she like looked at all of us and she's just like, someone has to beat them. Like, let's make it us next year. So we're hoping to do that next year. We're hoping to have a better record in our regular season. The highest we've ever been ranked as a program nationally is 7th, and we're hoping to break that next year, obviously, and just kind of keep growing like we have been for the past couple of years.
Well, we're now in the non-hockey segment where I ask you some non-hockey questions just to get to know you and your team a little bit more off the ice. First one is, what music do you like to listen to?
I personally like to listen to country music. In the locker room, we like to listen to like mixes. I make like little like SoundCloud mixes for our team to play in the locker room and like on the ice for warm-ups and stuff. So we'll put those on.
What's your team's warm-up mix? I want to find it on SoundCloud if it's up there.
Oh my gosh, you're making me nervous. It's I don't know what it might have a really embarrassing name. Let me look. I'm opening my SoundCloud. Oh no.
Because I listen to those. Like people don't realize, like I find college hockey warm-up mixes on SoundCloud and I just like listening to them going for my walks.
Yukon has one that I really like. Um, okay, wait, let me make sure this is the right one. Nope, that's not the right one. Nope. Where is it? I have way too many things posted on my SoundCloud. Okay. So it has a really weird name, but you know the like trend on TikTok where it's like mullet daddy,
Never
where
heard
like
of I
guys are getting oh,
I don't have a TikTok. I'm
okay.
old. I have Instagram Reels.
Okay, on TikTok, like people are getting like mullets and they're like making videos and calling themselves like mullet daddy. And because our rink is called mullet, we
Yeah.
called our mix mullet mommies. So that's our SoundCloud mix.
We'll
That's
give it a
what we play
listen.
in the locker room and on the ice.
Well, nice. Well, I'll definitely give it a listen sometime tomorrow
Okay,
when I go on my walk. So I appreciate that.
awesome.
Now, what would the perfect day look like for you?
Um, gosh, getting to sleep in, having no homework and no classes. Um, a day where it's not too hot outside because we're at a point in the year where it's like 100 degrees every day and it's way too hot right now. So like I like 90 degrees outside, like 85, that would be ideal. Getting to like go to the pool with my team. Um, Getting some ice time would be fun since season's over right now. I'm really missing skating. Um, and going out for sushi would be my perfect day.
I think for me, probably just a low key day, but probably going to a hockey game. I know that's a
Oh
very
yeah,
basic
for sure.
answer. And then hanging out with friends. And then if it's the summertime, probably going to a baseball game since I'm a big baseball
Mhm.
fan.
Who would your two ideal teams to watch be for a hockey game?
In the NHL or college hockey.
Any teams.
I think for NHL, probably be the Bruins and oh, that's tough. Probably like Maple Leafs or like Oilers, just because I want to see like McDavid or Austin Matthews. And then for
Hmm.
college hockey, I'm a big UConn hockey fan, so probably UConn versus UMass because that's like their biggest rivalry. So those games are always fun to watch.
Definitely.
What would your ideal hockey game be? I gotta ask you that now.
Yeah, probably Boston and Toronto. I love the rivalry they have. So
Yeah,
watching that, or Boston and the Habs, I also love that little rivalry they have going on. So those two, and then college hockey wise, probably ASU versus anyone.
I feel like ASU, their best games are always against like Denver, like those what mid
Hmm.
NCHC teams like Minnesota Duluth, like
Yeah.
those are always a lot of fun, at least for the men's side of things.
The Minnesota Duluth game was a really good game to watch. So
Now,
yeah, probably that.
what is your most embarrassing hockey moment?
Uh, Probably last year we went to Liberty to play them, and they had like a very big turnout at their game, and we were doing the starting lineups, and all lined up on the goal line, and they call my name, and I go to skate to the blue line. I was the first name they called out of everybody. I go to skate to the blue line, and I toe picked,
Oh
and
no,
I fell. Yeah,
that's tough.
and
Did you get chirped for that by
I
the
know.
fans?
I might have, but I was like so mortified that like I like just like blacked out. I like didn't hear anything. I like didn't see anything. I was like facing my team, like trying not to cry because I was so embarrassed. They have like a big jumbotron in their rink too, and it was just like everyone saw, and it was it yeah, it was really bad.
I would have laughed if I were one of your teammates. I'm sorry to say, because I would have found that
Yeah,
so
no,
funny.
everyone was dying because I go to the blind and I turn and I face them, and they're all just like laughing hysterically at me. It was really bad.
Now, let's speaking of your teammates, who has the best style on the Arizona State women's hockey team? I think it's you. I've seen those pregame
Mhm.
outfits that the team posts. You might have
Oh,
the
thank
best style on
you.
the team, but besides yourself, who would you say is number two on the team?
I'm probably gonna have to give it to Jessica Dorvinus. She has like the best style ever, like on the ice too. She has really great style. But she always shows up to games in like awesome, colorful outfits, or maybe Flo Odd. She's a fifth year grad student transfer from St. Thomas. And she has this like bright orange pantsuit that she wears to some of our games.
That's awesome.
And she just like looks awesome rolling up to the rink.
If you could have lunch with anyone in the world, who would it be and why?
Um, Brady Kachuk, because I love him. I have like the biggest crush on him. And I don't know why. I just think he's like so cool. So I would love to have lunch with him.
Well, I'll just say Matthew Tkachuk because I think he's a very fun player to
Mhm,
watch. I know he's a pest, and I know
mhm,
not a lot of people like him, but I feel like that's the type of guy
mhm.
that you want on your team any day of the week.
Definitely. I think that's what I like about Brady Kachuk is that like everyone hates him. He's kind of like a pest on the ice.
Yeah,
So I don't know. Yeah.
I just like the way Matthew chews on his mouth guard. I just think it's funny.
Yeah. Both of them are really entertaining to watch, and also watching them play each other is very entertaining.
Yeah, for sure. And then last non-hockey question is, what is the most interesting thing you've read or seen this week?
Um, that Ryan Reynolds is going to put in a bid to buy the Ottawa Senators.
That's
That's
awesome for you
so
guys.
weird to me. It's really awesome and very cool, but it's just like so random to me. Like
Yeah. Well, he
Ottawa
has that
Senators.
soccer team in England that's doing well, so you should be excited
Yeah.
about that.
I guess so. Yeah, and they're building a new rink in Ottawa for them, like downtown Ottawa rather than Canada. So that should help them out a little bit, I guess.
Mine's pretty basic. Leafs making it past the first round. That was pretty.
Yeah.
I'm not the obviously I'm a Bruins fan, so I don't really care about the Maple Leafs, but that was
Mhm.
cool to see those have that fan base have that moment because it's well overdue.
Yeah, we have two girls on our team who are like from downtown Toronto, like diehard Leafs fans. So like seeing their reaction to them making it past the first round was really funny.
Let's get back to some hockey questions before we end this interview. First one is, what advice would you give younger players on what it takes to make it to college hockey?
Definitely that you need to make sure you really love the game. Rather, if you're playing ACHA or NCAA, you need to make sure that you love hockey and you want to dedicate your college years to hockey because that's what you're doing. When you're playing college hockey, your day from start to finish is all focused around hockey. So definitely make sure you love the game first. And once you're sure that that's what you want to do, um, just keep working at it. Don't get discouraged. Like there's going to be years where you don't make the team you want to make. You don't get scouted by the coaches that you want to get scouted by. I know every little girl's dream is to play for Wisconsin, and not everyone can go play for Wisconsin. So just don't give up, keep working at it, and if it's meant to be, it'll be.
What should be done to help grow women's hockey? In my opinion, it's sort of teams like yours showing up because the more teams that are in women's college hockey, the more the sport can grow. Because how can women's hockey grow in the desert if there isn't women's hockey teams that people can watch? So that's why I'm giving a little bit of a shout out to Arizona University of Arizona because I want them to have a women's hockey team because I want that rivalry between you guys and Arizona State. I just think it'll be a lot of fun. So they need to figure that out. But what, in your opinion, should be done to help grow the sport?
I think definitely expanding college teams to the West Coast. I think we are the most like out west team that there is in college hockey. So expanding like maybe to California, getting like a team at UCLA at those like big schools out there is a big deal. Also having teams, NHL teams do what the Coyotes are doing with our program and with just like girls hockey in the desert. I think they should every NHL team should work really hard to expand the game in their respective town, like the Ottawa Sens having the Lady Sens, and just like the St. Louis Blues having like the Lady Blues AAA program. I think it's really important to have kind of like hands-on programs that go hand in hand with each other, like a big brother little sister kind of thing is really important. And also just more coverage on like the professional women's hockey league or the U18 women's worlds. Like I don't know if you saw a couple years ago the coverage that was for the U18 Women's Worlds before COVID was shot on like a fisheye lens from like
Yeah, I
way back
do.
in, like seeing that is so disappointing, especially if you're playing in that tournament. Like just it's such a big deal to be able to play for Team Canada or Team USA, and then seeing that this is the coverage you're getting when the men are getting like full professional coverage. It's really discouraging, and it's treating women's hockey like a joke, which no one wants to be treated like a joke. So I think just fixing those little things is really important.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I think they finally put it on TSN the last 2 years. And of course, it has the highest ratings it's ever had. It's like if you just put a little effort, it's obviously going to grow a lot.
I got to watch a lot of the games because I knew one of the girls on the team, and just like getting to cheer her on and like seeing her success through those tournaments was really exciting. And I knew how much it meant to her to be able to be in that tournament and have the whole thing covered like a professional hockey tournament. Just it meant so much to the girls on that team, and it meant a lot for the world to watch it and be like, wow, women's hockey is very good hockey.
Well, do you have any shout outs you want to give or anyone that we should interview next? Feel free to let us know.
I'm gonna shout out my one of my best friends who's actually transferring here next year. Her name's Anita Fleming. She is the best. I'm really excited to play with her and live with her and show her what ASU is like. And I also think you should interview her next. She has a really cool like history of her hockey career. She has transferred twice, and she's going to be transferring a third time. But she played for a different team every year. She started off at NCAA Division III, then she moved over to U Sports, and now she's moving over to ACHA. So I think it would be really cool to hear about her hockey experience.
Well, thank you so much, Sam, for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate your time. It means so much to myself. Wish you and your team nothing but the best for next year. I know you guys are going to do great and break even more records. And hopefully, I get that Nationals trophy in St. Louis next year. But I wish you nothing but the best in your law degree and on the ice as well. And I know you're going to be successful in whatever you decide to do. So thank you so much for your time. It means so much. And yeah, nothing but the best on my end.
Thanks, Matthew. That's awesome.